to our show. Once again, my name is Mrs. Augustina Anyanwu. And help me welcome my friend, Mrs.
Glory Ezemma. Thank you so much once again for being our viewers. All right, we have another topic today. I won't call it a great topic because actually it's a very emotional topic. The topic, what we'll discuss today actually is exploitation of our, unemployed and our needy. Exactly, the needy among us. Because actually we're still in the series of rebuilding Africa.
Yes.
So we have to identify some of the things that have become hindrance to our progress. So we've understood that we have a lot of rich people in Africa. We also have a lot of people that are unemployed. But when you look at it, and as much as we want to use this show to bridge the gap, we want to bring out some of the things that really, has become a bridge. So some of the rich people end up exploiting even the needy and the ones that are unemployed. And we had some examples which we'll bring out here to, just to drive our points across. So my friend and I, once again, will give insight and then we'll offer some advice that we hope will continue to, help our people in terms of rebuilding Africa. So my dear friend, have you heard some of the stories of
Lord, have mercy.
people that are exploiting, especially the unemployed, that are looking for jobs? When they go to offices, we heard that they are exploited there. So please give us a little insight of what you know and what you have heard so far.
Oh, my dear, I have had a lot. But what I'm going to tell you, everybody now, is the one that affected me. Because I have people that graduated from school for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, no job. Because everywhere they go, they have to pay some kind of money before they give them the application. So instead of giving them a day for interview, it becomes a merit based on what you study or how you present yourself. Then it will be on who brought this money first. So I really don't know if those in the office, those that are the bosses, if they really know that, because they're going to meet somebody at a desk and that's what they're going to tell them. So you have to go back and go get that money. And unfortunately, these people just finished school, didn't have the money, never have a job, looking for a job. You want them to go bring money. And they really need a job. Guess what they will do? The parents start borrowing again. As to be able to go and give those that already are receiving paychecks. Those that already, some of them own a car, some of them even have lands and have money. So they give them the money, either they share it or one person take it. I got no idea. But my question is,
Do the bosses know?
Do the bosses know? And secondly, how is productivity? What will be the outcome? Because you don't even know if that person is capable of holding that job or not. Your own eye is on the money. You don't care about the company. That's the way I'm looking at it. Because if you care about the company, you're going to hire the most qualified, both in behavior, attitude, and then the book part of it.
The
what
credentials,
the major they did, what they studied in school. Then you know if we'll be able to help to move the company up. But rather, we are doing it if you can bring the money first, then maybe it will take me a week to be able to borrow that amount of money. You're not talking about 100 naira or 200. We're talking about 300 or 500, not 500 naira, the counting thousands. So everybody don't have it. And then eventually, do government know? Do those, the bosses of the offices know? And they sometimes come to think about it, it will be like 1 or 2 positions there. But you're collecting money from 10 people. So what are we doing? We need to think about it, and we need to know that it's having a negative effect on families. That maybe they deposit their land and say, okay, once I get this job, I'm going to reclaim the land. Now they didn't get a job, and they're unable to make a payment back to whoever lent it to them. And eventually they have nothing. So my friend, I don't know if you heard about it, because I know that if these people get the job, they will be able to pay tax, they will be able to, even their own neighborhood, they can make a change. They can make a change in their family. They can be able to help us build back this Africa, build back Nigeria, build back the neighborhood, be able to, whatever they can do with the money you give them, that would be an incentive for them to pay back whatever they get. So I don't know how you're going to beg them. Beg them so that please hire people based on their qualification. If you don't have a job opening, don't go in the in the newspaper and put and advertise, because it's hurting a lot of people. And some people, the parents, some of them will have heart attack because when they see, oh my God, what do? That's the only portion of land I have, and we gave it up. So I don't know if they're aware of what they're doing to the poor and the needy or not.
Thank you so much, my friend. This is very, very, actually heartbreaking, because when you look at it, if someone has that amount of money that you're demanding, why would they be looking for a job? So it's almost like pushing them, even making them further towards poverty. So, and I mean, there's some stories that I've had too, and actually the one that I really had is what you just brought up too. Sometimes they will have openings for two positions, and then they will advertise that they have like 10 positions, so that they can start collecting money from 10 people.
They will collect more than that, because their award will be if you bring money before Friday. And then they're not going to tell you we already got 10 people. Exactly. Because the position already have been filled.
That's true. And I know a lot of people will be wondering, why are we unveiling these things? We're unveiling it because you cannot solve a problem that you have not identified. So these are things that are causing people to be even poorer in our nation. And that's why we really have to bring it out, because like my friend said, you have the middleman. I call them the middleman, because you might have the boss or someone that is the CEO of the company. Maybe he doesn't know that these things are going on. Maybe it's the secretary that is collecting the money, or the vice president, or whoever. So the CEOs of companies, we want you to look into what is going on in your company. When you have openings, how many people are they listing? I mean, how many people are they exploiting in terms of taking money from them? And how many positions are they listening? Are they listening to, when they list it, are they listing exactly the number of positions that you have available, or are they just doing it like exaggeration the numbers so that more people will come and apply and bring money to them? So this is something that you have to look into. And then we're going, not only the CEOs, we'll move towards the church and towards the, the religious denominations, not only the Christian, but other denominations. Like you have pastors, you have priests.
You want to go there?
Exactly.
Okay,
it's okay. It's not that we're jumping, but we might go back and forth to the other places.
Let's go.
So these are certain behaviors, because as much as we said we blame the government, these are things that our individuals are doing in different places that are really causing so much problem and subjecting us, our good citizens, even to more hardship. So we have to look into it, not only the government. So in terms of the pastors,
the church. Let's call it church.
Exactly.
For instance, I'm not calling you, my dear. Do you know when my brother that was sick for almost 15 years because he was paralyzed after a fall, who was
bedridden?
Yeah, he was a staunch, Christian. So when he died, the church can only come for the burial and do whatever they have to do, because he owed in the church. You got to pay all those ones.
Even while he was sick?
15 years, bedridden. It's not like any collection is done, because he was a staunch Christian. It's not like you get there, they give him, any kind of thing to say, okay, you're still with us. Despite he go now on a wheelchair, whenever he gets somebody to push him, because it's a distance where he can push himself, though, thanks to our youths, though, because they have to wheel him to the church and then wheel him back. So, and he don't want to miss church. With that alone, when he died, you got to pay all whatever that he owed.
Before he can be
and he didn't have a job, remember that? So you look at it, and some churches will want you to sow seed.
Sow seed. Are we going that side?
We got to get there.
Okay, we'll address it today. Very good.
If you're sick, before you get well, or pastor pray for you, got to sow seed. Maybe, I don't know what they...
You mean they bring a seed to the church in terms of plant a tree?
I really didn't ask the pastor, but the pastor said you got to sow seed.
That's money.
Pastor say you sow seed, you're looking for a child, you're looking for prayer, or they pray, or somebody pray for you, they want you to sow seed. So after you sow that seed, to me, I think at the time that seed have to germinate, and other people will be able, maybe take it to market. and sell it, so that other people or your neighbor will come and say, oh, this vegetable, can I take some? I just want to know what some of them do with the money. Like, do you bless a child or a family member, the poor? Because that's what the Bible tells us, that we shouldn't neglect the poor in our midst.
Exactly.
What do they do with it? Because I know the people that introduced church to us, they build the church, they build schools. They didn't know any of us. If they can do that, so I believe that church as a community can help to sponsor some children in school.
Exactly.
Look at the widow and know what they're going through. Do they need help? In what capacity? Do we send them up to do some kind of business? What can they do? I think that will help to bring Africa up too. It will help to bring Nigeria. It will help to bring families up. So I don't know what you had.
All right,
the
my
advice
friend,
you want to give
please,
us.
I don't even want to talk about the seed side, but actually now that you brought it up, I'm glad that you brought it up, because when we talk about exploitation, we're talking in general every area that people are being exploited. So the sow seed, actually when I had it, because I mean I grew up in the Catholic Church, and I go to Pentecostal church too, and I go to, sometimes I sing in churches, so I go around. So when I heard about the seed, I was like, when someone tells you to sow a seed, one, I mean, as a Christian, you want to be Christ-like. So it's not just using money. I call it more like bribing, just to get what you want. If you're looking for a job, you sow a seed. When you sow a seed, you get that job. I mean, to be a Christian means that it has to be your behavior. It has to be things that you do that is in line with what Christ taught us as Christian. So it's not the money. It's not the money itself that is going to do so or make something for you or do something for you. So the sow seed, I think a lot of us are misunderstanding it. So if you're a Christian, go into the Bible, because actually before we brought this up, we went into the Bible, we looked at the word seed, we looked everywhere.
Yeah, the seed, but to me, I look at it as bringing souls.
Bringing souls, that's what I have understood. And actually it's almost like the mustard seed. Sometimes it's trying to
it depends on
bring souls. Exactly. So it's not just bringing the money in the church and bringing, I mean, you have offering, those ones, and that's what they use, and tithes, that's what they use to, bring and build the church. But in terms of sowing seed and thinking that instead of you going out to do what you're supposed to do, let's say if you're looking for a job, you need to get your curriculum vitae good, you have to have good communication, and then you really have to go out and apply for a job. So, or maybe if you are starting a business, you have to work towards your business. If you have to advertise it to get more customers, you have to do that. Or if you have to, anything that you need to do to work harder. So it doesn't mean that you have to go to the church, take the money, put it inside there as a seed, and just everything will just work. God is not a magician. So you really have to do what you need to do to survive in life in terms of working hard and being creative, not just sowing that seed there. And then going back to our pastors and the men and women of God.
I'm not cutting you, but if you sow seed, like I described before, the real seed in the farm, you have to nurture it, you have to take care of it. You first of all got to clear the land. That's exactly what you're saying, because if you didn't go to school, don't have curriculum vitae or resume, don't have the attitude and the behavior to get a job, get there late, don't expect anybody or blame anybody. It's their fault.
Just because you give money in the church, you give seed.
You got to make sure that you're up and doing, do your part. God will do the rest, but God do not take bribe.
Thank you, sir. I like the word that you use, bribe, because it's almost like they're trying to bribe God.
Because let me bring more seed than me.
Exactly.
You get what you want first.
Exactly. I mean, I love that word. So, and our pastors, when you look at it, and our men and women of God, not only pastors, priests, and anywhere that you are, if you're heading any congregation, I mean, what I understood from Christianity is that it's supposed to work the other way. I mean, the church is supposed to help the less privileged. You're supposed to help the unemployed. You're supposed to help the widows. So they're not supposed to be bringing money into the church all the time. How can you give what you don't have? So when you pray for them, actually in the Bible, like I said, we're Christians, so we have to talk about Jesus. In the Bible, I don't remember any place that Jesus took money from anyone to pray for them or ask them to sow seed to him so that he can pray or heal them. So all you can do, you pray for people. When things get better in their lives, if they want to come back and bless the church, they can bless it, and it's willingly. So it's not like you have to do this to get this. You have to get this money to get this. Like I said, God is not a gambler, so neither is he, a bribe taker. So let's look into what we're doing, and then preach good behavior. Because in terms of behavior, actually, that's an episode that we will address maybe later. So we'll talk about in terms of the behavior of our people. You know, you have to give up certain behaviors in terms of trying to focus on what God called you to do in this world. And not focus on other human beings. Oh, you know, they're stopping me from progressing. They're doing this and they're doing this. If you're a real Christian, you know very well that no one can stop you from getting to your destination. All you need to do is to work hard, have faith, and keep on traveling. And know that God will protect you wherever you are. So, but it's not putting your eyes on human beings, because blessing do not come from human beings. It comes from above, and it comes from hard work.
That's right. You finish it. Yes. That's how it is. We need to, like we are saying, the church or any other place, when the money comes, let's bless the less privileged. That's how it's supposed to be. And our people, please, stop exploiting. They have not, because they don't have it in the first place. And when you ask them to go bring XYZ amount of money in order to get a job, I think that's exploitation in the highest degree.
Exactly.
Let's help them. If they merit the job, if they have the qualification, give it to them. The productivity will speak for itself. There will be expansion in your business. But if you hire somebody based on the amount they give you, they're going to mess up. And they're going to help you close down your business. They're going to help that company fold.
And they will not be honest. I'm sorry. No, I'm interrupting you, because if you take money from someone to put them in your company,
that's right.
If it is, let's say if it's a bank, what you have done is to open avenue for the person to steal, because now he has to steal to recover the money that he paid you.
The people are wondering, hey, you have to pay them back.
Exactly.
And then they know, oh, you're for it.
That's true.
And because you tell them it's okay to take money like that in order to enrich yourself. So anywhere they're going, even if they don't stay in your company, they have that at the back of their mind. And then you're not setting a good example. We all just want a better Nigeria. We want a better Africa. We want a better place, so that some of us that are out will come back.
That's true.
Our children will come back.
That's true.
So we don't want to stay in a foreign country. Every time we are talking about one thing over and over. We want better. We want to rebuild Nigeria. We want to rebuild Africa. God has already blessed us. My dear friend, just round it up so that we can call it.
Exactly. All right. Thank you so much, my friend. Just to, cap it, we are asking everyone to have compassion.
True.
Have compassion for the poor. Have compassion for the
Widows.
Less privileged. Have compassion for the unemployed among us. And then, the money that we are looking for in Africa is in Africa.
It's in Africa.
It is.
It's
all we need to do is just to, like I said, show compassion. And then be able to lift our brothers up. And then we'll be okay. So that we don't have to always run to the Western world to ask for bread to eat and ask for everything to eat. We are capable to rebuild our nation.
Yes.
We have the money, we have the human resources, we have the natural resources, we have everything.
We have the intelligence to do it.
Exactly.
We are hard workers.
Yes.
We know how to do it. We know how to economize. We know how to manage things. We know how to build things. We have that vision. And it's a united we stand. So let's work together. Let's not look down on anybody or have the mind, let me get what the poor people have in order for me to get more. Please, let's have pity and compassion on each other so that we can move forward. If the country is good, if the continent is good, it will be good for all of us.
Thank you so much for watching us again, and it's always a pleasure to read your comments. We thank everyone that have sent us some comments. I know we have not replied many, but we will eventually get to you know, your text message, your email, or your comment on YouTube, and then we will respond accordingly. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you so very much. Thank you, thank you. Keep on watching us. So our next episode will come out next week. So as you watch us, God bless you, keep you, and all yours. All right? So keep on subscribing. And at the same time, don't be stingy with it. Send it to friends, co-workers, family members. Send it to people. Everybody in your contact. We just want it to go all around. Before we want a better continent. All right? God bless you. And continue to comment.